Hi, today we are going to review the supplier portal that Archlink has created, which enables the supplier or which enables the overall automation of your long-term supplier declaration process from a preference processing module perspective in SAP GTS. Now, what this portal does is currently what you have or what you see is my GTS screen. Now there are a bunch of solicitation requests that are ready to be sent out to my suppliers. What essentially happens is once you go in, click over here, there's an option. If you want to edit or maintain any additional information, you can go ahead and do that. And then once you hit on send, this essentially would trigger a request to your supplier. Now, from a supplier perspective, instead of receiving those emails, they would be required to log in to a portal that is integrated with your SAP GTS system, but your supplier won't be logging into your SAP GTS system. Thereby, if you are a SOX compliance oriented client, or let's say you don't want to expose your SAP GTS live SAP GTS system to your suppliers, you can certainly leverage this tool wherein instead of doing things manually, it automates the overall process. Now, what essentially the supplier would be looking at is this portal right over here, the supplier request or the FTA request supplier aspect of it. This is built on a BTP platform. The supplier would log in onto this portal, click over here. There are a few things that you would see. One is the request number. If a supplier is already aware of a specific request number for which the solicitation is being requested, they can go in, feed in the request number, hit on go. They can even start with a start date and an end date standpoint. Now, there are a few additional informations that they can look at. What are some of the new requests that have come in their queue? What are some of the requests that have been rejected? What are some of the reminders that have been sent over? What request where the solicitation information has been provided or the qualification information has been provided but not been reviewed by the FTA manager? And what are some of those approved requests as well? All these details can be uh, sourced over here. Now, from a scenario perspective, what happens is these are some of these request number that came on Jan 1st of 2026. Now, I'll go in one of this. Now, what essentially you see is the request information. It shows the request start date, the requested end date. Then along with that, the products associated with that request, the description of the product. Now, preference rules for USMCA. Now, since this was a solicitation request for qualification update against USMCA. That's the reason why you're seeing it over here. Had it been for, let's say, a chorus agreement, you would have seen preference rule for chorus. So depending on that, a supplier can drop down, look at what are the informations available, and accordingly, they can choose the right option that would essentially be applicable for this product. They can even look at country of origin, select the country, have that updated over here. They can even update the HS code as well, the producer name, address, contact number, producer email. If there is a requirement where your supplier has to give you PDF copies of the qualifications, there is an option where this product can be configured to even accommodate attachments as well. That can be done. Now, once all the necessary information has been furnished by your supplier, they can hit on sign and submit. And once they do that, that information would land back in SAP GTS for FTA managers to review. And accordingly, either they can approve it or reject it. Now, that sums up the overall solicitation process from a supplier standpoint and how this product enables or accelerator enables the supplier and the client as well to automate the end-to-end process rather than receiving the qualification request over an email, providing all the information and then sending an email back. And then the FTA manager would have to download all those informations and manually upload it in the system. So essentially, this bypasses the entire manual process, automates the end-to-end solicitation that you would be seeing from an FTA perspective. If I have to capture some of the key aspects of this product, one is this enables the automation of this solicitation process. Your supplier doesn't have to log into SAP GTS system. They can just log in into this portal and furnish all the necessary information that would be needed from a qualification standpoint. It's a very configurable product. These are not the only fields that would be there. If a client has requirements for additional fields, that can certainly be configured. And this has a native integration with SAP GTS. So it's the flow of information is near real time. That essentially sums up the supplier solicitation portal that Arshlink has built as part of their innovation portfolio. Thank you.